Okay, well, we're here this afternoon with Zach Fisher from the track program. Zach's a senior here at Houghton College, and we're going to take a little time to get to know him better today. Zach, maybe you could start out by sharing a little bit with us just about where you grew up, where you went to high school, and what was your journey to get to Houghton College?
Sure. I went to Randolph Central High School. We were big with football, but I didn't play that, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I started out with basketball at JV for my ninth and 10th grade years. And then I wanted a little change of pace. So for 11th and 12th grade, I decided to do varsity track. And that's how I got into throwing initially.
Okay. Randolph's got a great reputation as a sports community. I'm an old Cattaraugus County guy myself. Before I came to Houghton all those years ago, I coached at the high school level, so I'm very familiar with Randolph and their good programs across the board. So any sport that you played there, I'm sure was a good experience for you. But so you went into the throwing piece, and then how did you get from there to Houghton College?
Yeah. Well, I had a couple friends who had already been coming here, so I knew it through that. I also have my grandfather is an alum of the college, and so it had always been kind of in the background. So I started out at community college just for a year, and then I was looking at a more intensive school for my undergrad degree, and I knew I wanted to go into biology. So doing my research, I found out that Houghton had one of the best in the nation for their biology program. So I ended up visiting here, and within one day, I made more friends than almost I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
So it was just the community of the school here was really what drew me to make my decision.
So Grandpa wasn't along with any chance he was an athlete? Did he do anything
No,
with
he
the
wasn't.
program?
No.
Okay.
He was in the pastoral ministries program.
Okay.
But yeah, he wasn't a big sports
So
guy.
is he a career pastor himself?
Yes,
now?
yeah, he's now
Okay.
a retired reverend.
Okay, awesome, neat connection there. Once you got to Oden, you decided to continue with the track career and so forth. How's that experience been?
It's been great. I definitely thought being a bio pre-med major, it was going to be more of a load that I could handle. So I kind of came into it thinking, I want to try it out, but I don't know if it's really going to fit. But one thing that's great about this school is that the coaches really make sure that your academics come first. So whenever there was an issue with like a conflicting class or studying that I really needed to do, Coach Hager was always great about letting that come first before track. So that really helped. So that's how I made track work for me, and it's been a great time.
Yeah, it's been interesting because our student athletes are every bit the same kind of quality students that we have across the board at Houghton here. We had, I think, 75 student athletes in the fall semester who had GPAs 3.75 or above. Obviously, you've been very successful in the classroom, so you figured out how to juggle that load between the two things. What's a typical day look like for you when you're in season?
Yeah, so I'll wake up, I've got a 7:45 class, bright and early.
Yeah.
I'll go to classes until about 1 o'clock. I have work at the campus store, intermittent in there. And normally right from a science lab, I'll go right to practice. So it's a long day, but having practice at the end of the day is a nice kind of release of that stress throughout the day, getting your mind off of all the schoolwork that's going on, and then you pick up with homework and whatnot for the rest of the night.
So you're balancing not just academics in a pretty challenging program and athletics at a pretty high level, but also a job on top of that. So you said the campus store?
Yeah, I work as the student manager.
Okay.
So I take on a little bit more responsibility than a normal student worker. I take the place of a staff member whenever they're not available, and I'll close for the night.
Okay.
So it gives you a little bit more responsibility in being able to work with people.
Great. What about athletically? What are your goals right now? What are you trying to achieve in your senior years? You're coming down to the stretch here. What are some of your aspirations athletically?
Yeah. Luckily, and I have been able to already reach the D3 top 10 for the school so far. So that was an initial goal of mine starting last year. This year, I'm competing in the EA Championships this Saturday, and so my goal is to be able to move up in the rankings, at least right now. And then my true aspirations are really for the hammer throw in the spring.
Okay.
It seemed very promising last year, and so as my final semester, I really want that to shine and to improve.
Mainly the weight and the hammer. Do you do the shot at all?
Yeah, I do shot put. It's not one of my best,
Right. Yeah.
but I definitely enjoy that on the side. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Career aspirations. What do you're getting ready to graduate? You've worked hard to do well in the classroom. What do you want to do? Once Houghton's behind you, once you got that diploma in your hand next December and you're walking out of here, what do you want to do next?
Yeah, I'm planning on going on to grad school.
Okay.
I want to be a chiropractor someday. I would love to, start as an associate under another chiropractor and potentially own my own private business. I'm even thinking about possibly doing missions work with some kind of medical team. So there's a lot of open ends to what's going to happen in the future, but I know for sure that I want to be a chiropractor.
Yeah. That could be scary to have a big weight thrower to twisting you around,
Yeah,
straightening
right.
your back up. You better be gentle with
Yeah.
the folks that you're working with in that area. Well, thanks so much for your time and your willingness to sit down and talk to us a little bit. And your E8 championships are coming up tomorrow for the indoor season, so wish you the best there. And hopefully, as the seasons transfer or transition and you come back from break, you'll have a great spring season as well.
Thank you.
Great. So thanks.